No vídeo de hoje, eu e o Ari nós vamos conversar um pouco sobre relacionamento entre pessoas de nacionalidades diferentes. O vídeo vai estar em inglês, eu e ele vamos conversar em inglês, assim vocês também escutam um pouquinho de inglês aqui no canal e a gente acha mais fácil também colocar nossas ideias assim pra fora, né, como a gente realmente sente quando a gente fala inglês. Então vamos começar o vídeo. Oi, Butterflies! Deixe seu like no vídeo, se inscreva no canal, faça parte da nossa família de Butterflies. Tem vídeo novo aqui 3 vezes por semana. E no vídeo de hoje, como vocês já sabem, a gente vai dar algumas dicas e como foi, na verdade, pra mim e pro Ari, esse relacionamento entre duas pessoas de culturas diferentes, né? Eu sou brasileira, o Ari nasceu aqui na Nova Zelândia. E no começo os relacionamentos são difíceis e diferentes no geral, mas quando é entre duas pessoas de culturas diferentes, algumas coisas no começo é um pouco complicado e às vezes pode não dar certo. No nosso caso deu certo. A gente vai falar inglês porque a gente quer que vocês também escutem um pouco de inglês e a gente gosta muito de falar inglês, né? A língua que a gente usa para se comunicar como casal e é por isso que o vídeo vai ser em inglês. So Melly, remember when we just started, we had some differences because I am Brazilian, you're Kiwi, so some things were different.
Yeah.
Né? So what do you think is the main reason why we managed to stay together?
To make it work?
Yeah.
So at the beginning, obviously it's, you know, you're already speaking good English when I met you.
Yeah, I was already at university.
You're already at university, so, you know, despite us really loving each other, I could see that if somebody didn't understand verbally, like couldn't understand each other verbally, I could see how they could create problems later down the track of a relationship, but we kind of started off okay because we both understood each other. For example, the first year of the relationship might be roses and butterflies and everything's really nice and happy and fine.
Yeah.
Second year as well, third year too, but how many years can you go without having good communication between you? So one of the two needs to learn the other language and learn it to the point where they understand both the person and understands and is able to communicate with the family, not 100%, like not like you're at some sort of interview or something like that, but just to the point where you can communicate with somebody and their family, I'd say is a big step.
I would say that when you married or dating someone from another country, for example, Brazilians dating someone from New Zealand, I really think it's important that our English is quite good, like you said, because imagine when you have a problem in the relationship, the person is doing something that you don't like or you're having a bad day. It's very hard to say that if you can't really, you don't have enough vocabulary, let's say that way, to really explain your emotions.
Yeah.
So you can't really get that connection with that person when you can't really express yourself.
And also to expand on conversation. I mean, to have good lasting relationships,
true.
you want to have diversity in the communication that you have and the topics that you discuss
About life
and the lessons that you've learned. So being able to communicate that with your partner, because in every relationship we're all trying to grow. So when we're feeling as if our partner is holding us back because we're growing and they're not wanting to grow, for example, that's not going to be good. So if one person's growing, they want to communicate where they're growing in their life and how they're growing to the other person, so that that person can build on that or teach you and vice versa. So you're constantly building on one another's lessons and ideas and that requires good communication.
Yeah, because even in normal relationships between people that speak the same language, they both need to add in the relationship. So you can imagine when it's the language barrier, it's very hard to add. So what else can we say?
So communication was the first one that we believe is
for
a good
us
one.
is the main one for us, right? What else?
So the second thing that I would imagine you guys might benefit from, because from what we've experienced, is the cultural differences. There are some things that are culturally different, and the best way to embrace that and build your relationship from that is to embrace a lot of that culture, as long as it's not obviously harming someone else or something else. I mean, there's obviously cultural things like, you know, that we don't agree with.
Yeah, but for example, I think it's a good example is that sometimes the way we say something in Portuguese is okay, but if you translate that in English, it sounds very rude.
Yeah.
And I remember in the beginning, I was saying that way to you.
Like me dá café.
And you
It's
were
like, give me the coffee.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, but you don't
No?
say in English. You don't say give me the coffee. It's quite rude. So you would say, could I have a coffee?
Or can I have? Or
Can I please have a coffee?
Yeah.
Could you make me a coffee, please?
Could I get a coffee?
Yeah. In New Zealand, they use the please, thank yous, and this sort of stuff. I use it a lot.
Yeah,
So
so for Ari, it was a little bit of a cultural shock. That was too much.
It was like,
get me this, I want that. And you're like, Jesus.
and the other thing, just building on that as well, I think one of the main reasons that we've developed our relationship as much as we have is participation, cultural participation. So I know Karina comes from Brazil. If she came here and she's like, in Brazil we don't do that, in Brazil we don't do this, in Brazil we don't do that. And I'm like, but in New Zealand we do, and I grew up like this. And if you don't participate, it's going to create a contrast in virtues that we're not virtues, well, virtues as well, but in general cultural participation, isn't it?
Yeah, because I came from Brazil, but I am living in New Zealand with a Kiwi.
Yeah, so being able to participate in the cultural activities that we have in New Zealand and vice versa. So when I'm in Brazil, Karina drinks Chimarrão with the family.
I guess you talk about adaptation.
No, participation, cultural participation.
And also being able to adapt, because my personality was okay to adapt with the New Zealand way.
So adapt. So number 2 would be adapt and participate in the other person's cultural activities, like Chimarrão in your country, for example. In New Zealand, we're told in schools not to share. Don't share the drink bottles. Don't share the straws because you might get meningitis.
Yes.
And die.
Yes.
That's what they tell us in school.
Yeah.
So when I went to Brazil,
well,
in the south where Karina's from, and her entire family is drinking Chimarrão from a single straw, I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die of meningitis. Because that's what I grew up in school with posters and videos telling me that I shouldn't share anything with anybody.
Yeah.
So that was a major cultural shock for me, that I had to adapt and to be able to participate. And it was a learning curve psychologically for me as well, because I had to fight something that I had ingrained in me by growing up in New Zealand.
And you try it and you really enjoy it. You thought it was so cool to have the tea, everybody sit down and talk. So you have to have this open mindset.
Yeah. Rather than coming to Brazil, there's 2 ways this could possibly have worked out.
Yeah.
One, I go to Brazil and I'm like, this is disgusting. I'm not going to drink from the same straw as you. I'm going to get meningitis and die. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Or 2 would be like, this is interesting. How can I check myself and see which beliefs I've developed in New Zealand that may not apply in Brazil, and how can I break them down so that I actually can participate in this activity?
Yeah.
And eventually I did, realized that it was okay.
You really enjoy it.
And it builds you as a person as well. So we're talking about basic
stuff.
activities.
Então é isso, Butterflies. Eu espero que vocês tenham gostado. Eu espero que vocês tenham praticado um pouco o inglês de vocês. E espero também ter ajudado vocês como funciona ter um relacionamento com uma pessoa de outro país. São essas coisinhas que é um pouco diferente de um relacionamento normal, né? Entre 2 pessoas do mesmo país. Deixe o like no vídeo, se inscreva no canal e eu vejo vocês no próximo vídeo. Um super beijo e até mais.
Tchau!
Bye!